Hi there and welcome to your yoga class, your 10-minute, really quick beginner's yoga class. So it's really good if you've never tried yoga before, or if you just want a quick pick me up in between working or at the end of the working day. So let's start down on our backs today. So lying down on your mat, you're going to put the soles of your feet together. Supta Baddha Konasana, it's reclined butterfly. So putting your feet together, you're going to let your knees come out to the side, okay? Now, with your knees, if this is just really too stretchy for you, what you can do is put some blocks under your knees here to prop them up a little bit, or if it's just far too much, you can bring your knees up to the centre, okay? But if you can, feel the nice stretching, opening of the hips, and put your hands wherever is comfortable for you. Now that might be just on your pelvic area, or it might be one hand in your chest and one hand in your stomach, or you might want to go for a nice arm stretch as well, okay? So close your eyes if you want to, and starting to breathe. In yoga, we are going to try to breathe through our nose and fill your belly up while you're breathing, okay? Starting to just feel nice and relaxed on your mat. Feel your thighs stretching out and your arms if you've got them in that position, but you might have them even on the floor. So feeling the thighs open. Remember, you can put your knees up at any time if it's just too much for you. So a few breaths here just to begin with. And then if you want, we're going to bring our knees up so you can actually help them up with your hands as well, okay? And have your knees together this time. And what we're going to do is actually just roll them over to the left hand side. Now you can put your left hand on there to rest on your thigh, but put your right hand out to the side, okay? Now try and keep your shoulders, shoulder blades on the floor. So we're in a nice supine twist here. Your knees, if it's too much for you, you can always split your knees as well, but try and keep them together because we're trying to get that nice wee stretch on the outside. You can put your other hand out to the side too, okay? And bring your knees up to the middle again, and then drop them over to the right hand side. So keep those shoulder blades on the floor, okay? That's the most important thing. If your shoulder blade's coming off the floor, just raise your knees a little bit up. That's absolutely fine. So feeling that nice big stretch and lengthening of the side, and your spine's getting a nice rotation as well. Just bringing your knees back up and have your feet about a foot length away from your bottom, okay? Have them a little bit wider than your hips and put your hands on the floor. We're going to come up to a bridge pose, okay? So we're going to take a nice big deep breath in, and when we breathe out, we are going to raise our tailbone up, but not only lifting it up, we're going as if we're trying to lift it up and forward as well to create a little bit of length in the spine. So take a nice big deep breath in, and then a nice big deep breath out, raising it up, tailbone up and forward, and trying to, as if you're trying to get your knees forward as well, although they won't come forward that much. So pushing up. You might want to put your shoulders underneath a little bit as well, that's absolutely fine. But leading up with your pelvic area straight to the ceiling and a little bit forward as well, pressing both your feet into the floor. Don't let your knees come apart either, they're about hip width apart. That's it, and then exhale. We're going to come back down again. Lovely, so we're going to sit up now. So you can just sit up whichever way you feel comfortable, or you can hold on to the back of your thighs and give it a sort of rock and roll. So you can have a couple of goes before coming straight up. That's it. So we're going to come into a tabletop position now. Okay, coming into your tabletop position, your hands are nice and splayed on the mat, okay? And your hands are shoulder width apart, and your feet and knees are hip width apart, okay? Now pulling that tummy button back to your spine, okay? A nice and strong tabletop position. And then we're going to just put our feet out and come down right onto our tummy, okay, for a Sphinx pose. So put your elbows on the floor, okay, and you can have this 90-degree angle here on your elbow, or if you want to, you can scoot your elbows forward, okay. But while we're here, have the tops of your feet on the floor, pressing your pelvis into the floor, shoulders nice and relaxed, in Sphinx pose. So you should feel this in the bottom of your back, definitely, but it shouldn't be sore. And try and open up your shoulders as well and lengthen the spine too. Okay, so nothing should be painful at all when we're doing this. A couple of breaths here, remembering to breathe nice and deeply through your nose into your belly, and then coming down with your head on the mat. We're going to do some baby cobras now. So head on the mat, hands in a sort of cactus position beside you, and then we're going to inhale, raise our head and our shoulders and our hands up, and then exhale, coming back down again, and we're going to inhale again, up and back down again. We're going to do one more. Inhale, coming up, and then exhale back down again. Lovely. So we're going to push back to that tabletop position again. So hands underneath your shoulders and coming up into your tabletop position. So from here we're going to come to a child's pose. So put those toes together at the back there and widen your knees out as much as you want, okay? Edge of the mat's a good sort of place to start, and then you can bring them in or out from there. And pop your bottom back as far as it will go. Might reach your heels, might not. And put your head on the floor and your hands out to the front, okay? So a really nice stretch for your glutes here. Stretch your arms forward, feel that under your shoulders. And remember, if it feels too much, just back off a bit and come up a bit. That's absolutely fine. But just rest your head on the floor or a block. And just take your time, feeling it. We're just here for a few breaths. And it's a really nice stretch for the lower half of your body and also those shoulder blades as well. So taking your nice deep breaths, helping you to relax. So slowly coming up again. That's it. Come back into that tabletop position. So realign your knees and your hands and things like that. And we're going to take our right foot and put it between our hands at the front. So just bring it forward. That's it. So the right foot is between your hands at the front. And we're going to come into a low lunge. So watch and make sure your knee is above your ankle ideally. Now you might have this sort of boxy shape with your legs here, okay? Or you might want to just put that front foot further out and increase the lunge. It's up to you. But this back knee's on the floor. Double your mat up if it's a bit sore on your kneecap. And the front of the foot can be in the floor, or you can be tucking your feet as well. It's up to you. So from here, we're going to raise our hands up to the ceiling, really push up with your fingertips and feel those hips dropping. You can look up if you want to, or look straight ahead, but feeling the hips dropping. Okay, and we're going to involve a little twist here. Okay, so we're going to bring our hands down again and take your left hand, put it across onto your right knee and just stretch that right hand back, opening up the shoulders. Looking to the side, keep the hips pointing forward. And we're going to do the other side as well. So bring the right hand onto the knee this time and bring the left hand back. Now don't be tempted to swivel the hips round. Keep them pointing like headlights over that front knee. That's it. You can look back at your hand if you want, or you can look wherever you like actually, but if you look back, that can help your chest rotate. So bring your hands back either side of that front foot, tuck the back foot and straighten the leg, and we're going to step up to the front of the mat. So you can take a couple of hops if you want, or if you can, just come straight up to the front of the mat. Now your feet are hip width apart here. We're going to have a ragdoll pose. So bend your knees a little bit. Hold on to the inside of your elbows and let that head and torso just dangle. You can rest on your thighs if you want. That's absolutely fine. So just giving a wiggle if you want, swaying about, whatever feels nice and loose for you in this ragdoll position. That's it. So from here, putting your hands back on the floor. Okay, we need to do the other side. So we're going to step our right foot back this time into a low lunge. So here we are with our left foot in between our hands at the front. And let's put that back knee down again and pop the foot down if you are wanting to. So bringing your hands up, reaching the fingertips up again. Drop those hips, remember, and watch that knee does not go in front of your toes at the front. Okay, feeling the nice stretch in your thighs. and the nice length in your spine as well. Okay, so you're going to take your right hand this time, put it on your knee and bring your left hand back first. Keep the hips pointing forward. It's a bit easier when we're going to this side because this leg is sort of stopping the hips turning. But then when we take this left hand and go to the other side, you can look back if you want, but keep those hips pointing forward. It's a different sort of twist. That's it. Coming back round to the front, we're going to put our hands on the mat again, and you're going to tuck that toe in and come up to a low lunge position. Now this time, what we're going to do is put this left foot back and come into a downward dog position. So your hands are still hip width apart, your feet are shoulder width apart, and we're going to try and get a nice straight back. So you can bend your knees if you want to, you can be in this position, or if you're up here you can pedal the feet a little bit as well. Okay, but tailbone is nice and high. Okay, kind of going for an upside down V shape. Pedal it out, and remember, bent knees is absolutely fine. It sometimes helps you to get a nice straight back when you bend the knees. Nice straight back. And then you're going to bring your knees to the floor. Keep your knees together, okay, and tuck your toes at the back here. We're going to sit up on our heels just like this for a nice toe squat, okay? Now, if that's just far too much for you, you can untuck your toes, but feel the nice stretch behind your toes. And then coming to sit with your legs in a cross position. That's it, sitting with your hands at your heart, relax your shoulders as well and feel your seat bones on the floor. You can sit on your knees as well if this is too uncomfortable. Thank you for joining me for some beginners yoga, and hopefully that has given you a little taste of it and you want to go on and do a lot more. So subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications so you get all the new videos that upload. But we'll finish with a namaste. So after 3, 1, 2 and 3, just pop your hands up to your head and say namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon.